All right, it says we are live. Woo woo. Hmm. Oh man, there's so much weird stuff going on.
Speaking of weird, I was going to get my Mrs. Bloodaxe from the airport Friday night.
Uh huh.
I was doing about 75 on the interstate, and some jackwagon rear-ended me and kept booking it. Did not slow down, did not stop.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, that
Mm-mm.
sucks, man.
Yeah.
Were you in the
So
nice car or were you in the?
I was in the pilot, but still,
Yeah.
you know, some jerk decides to rear-end somebody, probably smoking weed and dicking on their phone. Whatever. It's just been a shitty ass weekend.
I can imagine. That's never fun.
Um,
All righty. Well, let's get started. Welcome to Dice Junkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
and
We have the blood axe. Yay.
all right. Let's get started. Oh, where to start?
We're
Where
first.
to start?
Look at that. Dicejunkies just went live.
What's that?
I'm on YouTube, man. I was like, look at that. Dicejunkies has gone live.
Oh, yeah. Oh man.
There's clowns again.
So I honestly had forgotten that BioShock 4 was even announced. But apparently it's not in good shape. So BioShock 4 loses direction again as 2K fires top leadership. So apparently Take-Two's BioShock 4 has been stuck in development hell for over a decade. Now executives have fired the studio head, demoted the creative director, and ordered a full rewrite.
Okay, now I'm a Bioshock guy. I played all three, so I have a lot of this actually does fall in my wheelhouse of I would have probably played Bioshock 4 if it wasn't going to be utter garbage. And from what we've seen, I told Zeno, and I'll tell Zeno Bloodaxe, man, I would be more than willing to drop a couple of dollars just to find out what what was it that they said, hell no, you're fired, scrap the whole story. Like, how god awful was
it's
led
one of
to
those.
terminations and a rewrite.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you would love to be a fly on the wall in that board meeting, you know.
Like, what did they present that caused such an impressively powerful reaction?
But
BioShock Infinite 2.
What was it? Come on, you got to be feeling me on this. What on earth did they walk in there with that they fired top people and said rewrite this whole thing in 2025? It had to be like they walked in there and said, "All right, guys, here's what we're doing. Do you remember Concord?" And then it said, "Get out."
like, well, we're gonna have Big Daddy be Big Daddy now, and
Okay. If you don't like that idea, that's all right. Check it out. So did you see Veilguard? Get the hell out! I mean, they had to literally try to sell some crap that's already failed, is what I'm literally saying. They had to pull some stuff, and they were just like, no, that's already, no. Like,
get freaky with the drill. I don't know, man.
Remember, the picture's Veilguard on ice.
have you seen the anime Yuri on Ice? And have you played Veilguard? We're combining the two.
Oh Lord. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I played 1 and 2. I did not play Infinite. I watched it. I didn't really care for it. So
It made some people uncomfortable. It's really funny whenever I bring it up, and especially when I get around my more enlightened, I guess, friends, and I go, "Yeah, man, Bioshock Infinite," and they're just like, and I'm like, "It's a video game, man." It's like it's a video game.
but no, I enjoyed the first two. I was hoping this next one would continue down that vein. I mean, they have a winning recipe. BioShock 1 and 2 are cult classics. People still play those games. They're still talked about. They have some fame behind them. I mean, heck, you still occasionally get a BioShock meme every once in a while. So, it had
the Big Daddy's one of the most iconic. I think the Big Daddy's one of the most iconic video game characters that came out in the 2000s. Everyone knows what a Big Daddy is, even those that didn't play BioShock.
But yeah, so I mean, all you have to do to make a good BioShock 4 is to pull from BioShock 1 and 2 and continue that storyline.
I mean, yeah, that would make sense. BioShock 2 left itself, well, I don't know. Some of the sequels put a nail in that coffin. Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind if BioShock 4 returned to the underwater city. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't mind another trip down there. To me, that's where the real BioShock was. That's why I like BioShock 2 more than BioShock Infinite. It's why BioShock Infinite being a well-done game. It's because Rapture was where it was at. And I think it would be interesting to go back to Rapture. If you're not going to Rapture, I'm not as interested in going back to a sequel to BioShock Infinite. So I'm like you. I agree with you. I'd rather go back to Rapture and revisit there, see what it's like now, Because, dude, we never found out what the heck Adam really was. Not even in the weird offshoot stories. Like, Adam is strange. And I always wanted to find out if Adam had a Lovecraftian origin. I think it would be interesting to go BioShock 4 is a horror game as well. And the Adam really ramps up to a new level.
I mean, all you got to do is you go, okay, we had BioShock 2. We have this area. We explored this area. We did this stuff. Time's passed. Something's happened in this area, and a new formation has arisen, and opened up. And now you've got a whole new place to explore. I mean, it's not outside of the story for something like that to happen.
No, makes sense to me. It works.
Yeah, I mean, or you could have, the civilization's been repaired, but something else has gone wrong. Or, I mean, how many times have we done that with Jurassic Park? To where, well, they failed the first time, but we've got it now, and all hell breaks loose. Keeping with that same formula, but you're right, the Lovecraftian themes to it, made BioShock fun for a whole new generation in that vein. So I'm with you. I think going back to that,
but yeah, you could definitely do like a copycat where somebody picks up the work,
Right. If not Rapture, another situation, because the thing about being underwater in Rapture is, you were kind of stuck. It was almost kind of like, in a space station of sorts, because you really couldn't. Right. You really couldn't leave the vicinity versus, Infinite. You're up in the sky, and yes, it had its own elements, but it didn't have that same level of, oh God, what the hell's going on? It's just, okay, it did not have that same oomph. And having a return back to that situation to where, you are going down these corridors and claustrophobic and this weird stuff's going on, and the page from George Lucas's storybook is don't explain everything, and they did a wonderful job of not explaining everything, so it made you wonder versus everyone giving the story on a platter. So that sense of intrigue and make your own headcanon made it a fun game. Even when they remastered it, I bought them all over again, and it still holds up even though it's a 20-year-old game.
And there you go.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's not hard to do. And I don't know, like I said, I can imagine what nonsense they put on the table to trigger such a wildly over-the-top reaction, almost. And I say over-the-top just because I don't know what. I mean, who knows? I mean, we're joking, but they may have came in there and pulled Dustborn or something horrific where it really was that bad to where they said, oh, you hate money. Okay, get the out. It's fully possible. That's what happened. They looked at me and said, oh, you lost your ever-loving mind. Oh, we didn't know you were crazy. You should have told us you went crazy. Get the hell out. No, out. You out. Boom.
But
Could be what happened.
you know what? I mean, it's the same thing with Prime 4. Nintendo pulled the plug and scrapped the whole development team, brought a whole new team in because it wasn't going the way that they thought that a Metroid Prime game should go. I'm fine with you doing that if it gives us a better story because you realize this is doomed from the beginning. And so, props to them for that, but you got to get it right because you're going to now almost double the budget for the project because all that time in development's out the window. So it's a lot of resources that have been wasted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, speaking of wasted resources, on top of, all this stuff going on with BioShock, Microsoft's back in the news for yet another cancellation of a game. Xbox apparently cancels Contraband from Avalanche Studios. Now, this game was announced a few years ago. Apparently, it was a co-op Smuggler's Paradise game. And, I wasn't really that interested in it, but it's just like, okay, Microsoft is just killing everything. Like, I'm still waiting for Fable to be canceled.
Oh, wow. You really think that might be on a chopping block? All right, I'll give you something. I did not expect that. But
dude,
you're not wrong. It could happen.
It could definitely happen. So
That's wow. Yeah. That would actually be one because as much as I'm not confident, and let me be honest, not even slightly at all confident, I still want to see if we get something good. You know what I mean? Like I want it to happen. I want it to happen, and then find out. But you have unfortunately made a very good point, and that is that we really don't know if it's going to come out because what I've seen, I'm not confident in.
Yeah,
dude,
look, you type in Fable in any of the news category programs, and all you get is old news. We haven't heard anything new in a while. Guesses on when it might be out, which is like 2027 is what they're saying now, which is that's in the realm of the games they've been canceling, games that are supposed to be out in the next couple of years,
Answer me this. Well, why would anybody continuously announce games 4 or 5 years out? Get closer to where it's actually going to be developed because you're in that dead period of people are losing interest because you have nothing new coming out versus, developing excitement for Grounded 2 because they announce it and 2 months later we're playing it. So why would people continue to do that? Because it makes you look incompetent, in my opinion, as a studio. Or am I wrong?
I agree.
I think there's a couple of reasons why. I think one of the reasons is game studios are trying to justify the price. So they're like, well, if we announce that we've been working on this game for like 10 years, then people may be willing to pay a higher price because we're like, man, look, we worked on this thing for 10 years. We're only asking $80.
Normies don't pay that close attention to your development strategy in games. They just want to wait for it to come out.
Well, no, I agree. I think it's a bad idea, and I'm just throwing out ideas of why. But it has been one of the things that they have been pushing a lot, though, is how long development times are and how much, because they talk about, we used to be able to create a game in a year or two. Now it's taking us 4 to 10 years to create a game. And that's why they're trying to justify price up. So, maybe they're trying to make that more visible. I don't know.
And then you have Exhibition 33 coming out with a very small budget, very small team, come out and then blow it up. So again, it just shows poor leadership on those studios' parts for making dumb decisions like that.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of this is poor development decisions. Most of the time, like in the past, you would have that game that had been being worked on for a really long time that brought in a bunch of innovations, new ideas, stuff like that. And then you'd have the games that you were cranking out that you were going to sell because it's like, okay, we know what sells. We have this. We have these mechanics. I'm going to put out, the next in that line, Duke Nukem 4 or, whatever.
Duke Nukemer.
That isn't really anything innovative. It's just something that's fun to play. And then we have this one game that we're really cranking out the ideas on, and we're going to be experimental with, and take the stuff that works with that, and then start implementing that into our normal release cycle. This is how most companies work. Like, for some reason, the game industry, dude, has just gotten insane with, well, we're going to throw all this stuff out there. We're going to hire people we don't need. We're going to, put all this money. And then we want to not only put out a shit product, but we also want you to pay for it. And it's just like, nah. I mean, the game industry's whack right now, dude. It just is.
You're not wrong. And I mean, that's the heart of the issue. At its very core, they're not really seeming to put any of the effort in to be successful, and that's why.
Let's be mediocre.
You'll never get over that.
I would deal with mediocre.
Kills me, man. Obsidian said that.
No, I would take mediocre right now because a lot of the games are getting just trash.
Well, because they're aiming for mediocre and they're bad at this, so they go down a tier.
Yeah. We had that discussion earlier this week, too.
I mean, Obsidian literally owes me one right now because I've lost a character in their game. I got deleted.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, screw them. It's very much a stance I'm willing to take. You're not going to have to work real hard to convince me, given my last 48 hours. I mean, you're more sane than me because the loss of a unique item in my game would require me to start over. Like, I would actually have to start over.
I've debated starting over, but I have 90 in-game days already. I'm like, that I've gotten so many gold cards.
Honestly, there hasn't been a patch or anything like that. Even if you were to start over, you might lose the character again.
Well, no, it was certain actions that triggered.
Well, we think it was those actions. I mean,
true, it could have been something else. Yeah.
You could be right. We don't know. I mean, I looked up after you told me about it. I went and looked in the forums. Nobody has mentioned any issue there. So it's like that may not have been the issue, or it may just not be discovered, and it may not be something they're going to fix.
I opened it. Well, the Grounded one, they reset the whole world like 2 or 3 times. And so I'm pretty sure they'll probably have multiple resets, but I also fully expect a recipe or some other way to be able to get those artifacts back. But
well, dude, I think the artifacts, to me, the artifacts are probably the least. I get the idea of you not having that in your game, but the fact that it reset his character progression where he's got to re-grind to get his abilities and stuff back up. That to me is the more annoying part.
Yeah, because he ground for him to grind in my game, in a game that it's not super hard, but it's just the monotony of killing 200 creatures.
Not a fast process.
But once they open up the ability to suggest or submit suggestions on Discord, I am going to submit the suggestions that even if you may not keep your equipment, I can understand why you wouldn't keep your gear. Keep your character progression from your local's your local game versus my game. He would go back and he would regrind it up if he knew he would keep his mutation progression, even if it's just for the combat styles. But for the gold cards, they probably wouldn't let that bounce over.
That was something me and Q also talked about. Like, we've played other survival type games, and most of them, when you have like a shared server like that, it stores your character separately from the server. Like if you play Valheim or if you play Enshrouded or any of these other you can take your character, have them on your local so that he can play around and stuff like that, experiment, and then also have them log in to a shared server where you do your shared stuff. And so your character stays on your side, so stuff like that doesn't happen. If the server goes down, you're not out your character. You still have your character. You can start up another server to play on, or you can play locally. That way you're not reliant upon something that could easily be deleted by somebody else.
And that's how every other game works, and that's why I'm upset. It's that I'm like we were talking about, this is something that's already been mastered. This is something they already know how to do. So why is this still a problem? Why is it that you made your game and you made such a ridiculous flipping mistake? Where it's like, hey, you should know better. You know what I mean? You should know better. This should be something you already know.
Should know better anyway.
So I mean, yeah. Dude, take an example from other games is not an uncommon strategy. Some games take that to the extreme and take complete stuff from games they don't own. 10 cent.
Hey, man, they asked and they said no, so then they went, well.
Yeah, we talked about this last week with Sony suing Tencent. Well, Tencent this week apparently has taken action already to remove a lot of the content in which Sony was suing them over from the Steam page and from their trailers. But they also extended out the release to 2027 because, well, when you got to make your own shit, it takes time.
It does. Guys, be reasonable. It takes time.
Oh.
Maybe you got to do it yourself. Do you think that's easy, sir? Do you think that's easy to make a thing? It ain't been working out for Pixar. Why would it work out for anyone else? Takes effort to do your own stuff. But yeah, dude, this was fun when we covered last time. And apparently, it's still coming out. They're still planning to put it out. But supposedly they removed the most egregious, is our assertion. The most egregious offenses. Now, it's China. Probably not. But they probably painted the bull green, or something, painted a different color, because they don't really care. I mean, Sony can't even screw with them. I mean, Sony's, like Zeno pointed out, Sony's in bed with Tencent on enough things. How far do you think Sony's really going to push them on this, man? Because, I mean...
I don't know, dude. I mean, they have mutual investments. So it's almost one of those things where, you're shooting yourself in the foot to.
Yeah. look, just nodded. Yeah, it's what happens when you put yourself in that situation. That's all brother saying. So, hey.
So while we have companies having to extend time because they have to make original stuff, we have other companies that are putting in time making redundant systems. And, that would be GTA. Because there's no age verification system anywhere prior to getting the game. We have to put an age verification system in the game.
Yeah, it is funny that a mature game, thus one that requires age verification of purchase, wants to do this for their online game. And the reason that we're talking about this is actually the amazing panic it triggered in people worried that they were going to turn around and do this for the most anticipated video game, period, GTA 6. GTA 6 is massively anticipated. Everybody is very excited for it that's in that base. I'm not necessarily one of them, but I understand it. And I'll be very familiar with the game because I watched a lot of the last game's gameplay because I keep myself informed. Well, imagine if you've got the game and then you've got to turn around and give your driver's license or facial stuff on top of the fact that you probably already did that at the store. It's not necessary. It's information grab.
Well, I mean, my thing is, like many of people who have covered this already have said, is we have permissions on our console. Like you have, whenever you do Xbox, you can go, this is a child who has this account. This is a child's account. Don't show mature games in the store. Don't show, So we have all this stuff. When you go and you buy a game at Walmart, that's mature, they're supposed to check your ID, to make sure you're of age. Parents.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Parents, you should know what your kids are playing. I mean, most of us, my nieces and nephews, I know they play games that are rated higher than their age, but those games have been vetted. It's like, okay, well, why are they, this? Okay, well, that kid, he's mature enough that I don't have a problem with the language. He's not going to repeat it, or whatever, But I mean, there's already measures in place, and you're wanting to put an even more intrusive measure in place that we already know. GTA, GTA Online, Red Dead Redemption Online, both of these games are things that Rockstar has done. Both, especially Red Dead, could not control the hacking and the of that whatsoever. So I don't really trust them with my my ID or my other things that they really shouldn't have, because it's not good. I don't trust them.
And that's my thing. Like, I don't trust them with the info. Already Sony and even Microsoft and big companies sometimes get hacked. I don't expect Rockstar to have $1 million security team, man. To have that. They don't need all that. I don't have anywhere near the faith that they're going to be capable of this. So, no. And imagine, I believe it's going to cause returns if they do it on GTA 6 if this goes through. Because what's going to happen is parents are going to buy their kids the game and get them to shut up. Then their kids are going to get home, but they're going to turn around and say, hey, mom, hey, dad, I need a driver's license. And then they're going to go, no, you don't. I need a driver's license to play this game. And they're going to go, I already paid for the game. What do you mean? I paid for the game. And they're like, it makes you do this too. And they're going to go, no, screw that. We're going to take it back. I believe it's going to happen because people are going to go, I've already paid you. Didn't I do this at the store? Didn't they ask me how old I was at the store? Well, yeah, and for normies, they're just going to get pissed. They're gonna go, man, screw this. Screw this, screw you. You know, not the kid, but screw the company, and they're gonna go take it back. Because, it's a stupid idea.
But yeah.
It's only gonna get a handful of people. You're gonna lose more people than you're gonna trick.
Flynn in the chat room asks, is this age verification requirement in response to all the new laws being made for adult content? The game is rated M, correct? Yes, the game is rated M, and they do say it is partially due to the UK and some of the laws being changed there. And a lot of the worry is because these companies aren't responding to questions. Like, so a lot of the questions are, okay, we've seen screenshots of this age verification stuff. Is this also in the US? No response, and so that's causing a lot of the issues. On top of that, GTA has been mentioned to be one of the games that the credit card processors might be blocking with some of their stuff. So it also may be somewhat in response to that. Though, I mean, we do have a slight hope on that front here in the U.S. Recently, we've had some a Trump executive order that could get in the way of the MasterCard and Visa gaming censorship. I am doubtful because it's more targeted towards banking and politics than it is gaming. Mostly, if it does affect this, it's by accident. But a lot of people are saying that it could help with some relief there.
Hopefully.
I mean, we also have YouTube, which is activating an AI age verification next week, which is going to sniff your data even more to try to figure out your age. The age that they should already have. I mean,
don't you put a birthday in when you create a YouTube account?
You do. Now, I mean, you could lie. That is true. But, I mean, it's another one of those things. I mean, we have demographics on our, on our YouTube channel that we see, so many people between these ages are watching our channel, and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, they already have demographics. So I don't know. I don't trust AI, man. I mean,
we all saw Terminator, so no, we get it where this is going, but
it's not even like that, dude. I mean, it's just it gets confused. I've utilized AI in several things, and where it can be helpful, it also gets confused.
Well, but my biggest concern is this going towards a dystopian social credit score type future that we just seem to be barreling down the path to hit headlong, and that should terrify most people. It really should, and I don't think that a lot of the normies are aware of where this is going to end up going, and that's scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's another form of collection of data, and I mean, it's an excuse to have a big file behind my profile of what I watch. Oh well,
it's just another right that we're giving up, and once we give up a right, we never get it back ever. So it's anyway. I'll try to keep it non-political, but it is really hard because a lot of things come in the guises of protection, and I think we all agree there's a lot of things that kids shouldn't see online, and GTA is not one of those things that should be censored, but they're using the point to defend their choices that most people would agree with until you look underneath the hood and realize, well, that's not why you're doing what you're doing. So,
Oh no, dude! I guarantee you. I tell you why they're doing what they're doing. It's another way to serve you more personalized ads. In the end, that's
part of it, yes.
That's
I think
probably
there's more
the biggest
nefarious. Part. There's more nefarious reasons for it as well.
I mean, I'm not saying there's not, but money is they're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. We damn well know that. You know, it's a way to make money, whether it be to sell your information to somebody, create ads, or
I think they're selling it.
What's that?
Yeah, they've almost exhausted all the possible ways to hose the content creators. So now they're trying to find ways to be able to cash in more money because they can't take anything else away. So again, a very tight rope on my choice of words.
Oh, you fell off. Don't worry.
Probably. I mean, we'll probably get demonetized after this show anyway. So,
yeah, well,
they'll be all right. They're grown.
Yeah. Good thing we all got jobs. I mean,
yeah. Keep your day job.
Speaking of day jobs, Gina Carano. Disney settles legal dispute over Mandalorian firing. Say we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together in the future. My only thing is about this is I would respect Gina Carano more if she gave him the middle finger and said you can keep all your job opportunities, you know.
No. Oh no. She should have a job for life now.
I know, but also I don't like working for the devil, man.
I mean, at least we know this devil. You know, how many other companies out there don't appear to be the devil, but are just as bad, if not worse, as Disney?
Oh, I know.
But no, I mean,
but I mean, it's such a sleazeball response because I mean, we know what they did. They know what they did. They settled in the court so that they don't have to put their dirty laundry out there. And then they come out with a response like, Miss Carano was always well respected by her directors. No, you wouldn't have settled if they were. You know?
Well, the directors, yes, but the executive producer, not so much.
Yeah. Directors, co-stars, and staff. And she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities and blah, blah, blah. You're full of shit. That's what that is, dude. That is, we're trying to look good.
You know, immediately she should demand that, you know, Rangers of the New Republic get done. That was the project that was supposed to be her baby. But what I wanted to ask you two is, with her coming back to Lucasfilm, if they put her in Mandalorian and Grogu, would you even bother going to the theater to watch the movie? Because I wasn't going to go watch it because of what they did after season 2, season 3. But now I would actually have to consider it because, you know, her character was exactly what a lot of people say they want is a strong woman character, and she was organically, and she didn't feel like Rey did, forced down our throat as a Mary Sue. No, she was an organically well done female character in the vein of Ripley and a lot of the other female characters that we've grown to love over time. But I have a hard time going to watch anything Disney anymore, and so I would really have to consider going to see this film if they put her in Grogu and The Mandalorian.
You're not wrong.
I don't know. I don't trust anything coming out of Disney anymore, man. I mean,
nobody trusts Disney, of course.
And I get supporting her being back in stuff, but at the same time, it's still Disney, man. It's still Disney.
Well, nobody trusts Disney. You can't trust Disney.
All right, there's some weird stuff going outside my window, so I gotta go check on that. Y'all keep talking.
We keep it lively around here. You see that? Stuff be going down. Just when you think you have it easy, we show you that it ain't what you think it is.
Shoot. But I mean, other than her Cara Dune character, I am kind of curious to see what other ways they can be creative as far as using her going forward.
What? Go creative? That would be interesting.
Well, I mean, The Mandalorian the first 2 seasons were creative and well done, and it was groundbreaking in a lot of the things they did. Unfortunately, it just got so far away from what the fans, at least the majority of the fans, liked, that between Boba Fett and then Ahsoka and then season 3, man, I mean, everything just went to shit. That I don't know if they can tell a good story, even with good, talented, and well developed characters. I don't know if they can tell a good story anymore. I mean, look at Fantastic Four. You have so much source material, and you still can't break 500,000.
Yeah.
So I don't have any faith they can do it, but if there's new leadership and the Lucasfilm story group, gets shown the door, there's a possibility the Star Wars can be salvaged. But I think the best thing for it is from a fan's perspective is to have another company purchase Star Wars and basically hit the reset button. And say, everything from 2012 is dead, and we're starting over from scratch. I think that would be the best thing for anyone who actually calls themselves a Star Wars fan. But Lucasfilm is just, they're so heavy at the top with bad decision making and people that, as I call it, moat building. They plant their castle and they dig it to where no one can get across into it. And they're just sniffing their own farts and thinking that what they're doing is great and can't understand why normal people like us don't want to gobble up their bullshit. It's sad, but at least I think this is a step in a positive direction, at least for a character that we all enjoyed for the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. But I am curious to see if they're going to put her in the film, and if so, how well will they use the character considering the trash fire that was season 3?
Yeah. And I mean, Flynn has it right. I mean, in the chat room, he's like, Disney's issue is the same for the entire industry. The entire industry can't write good stories anymore, and it's true. They're all too busy either trying to push some agenda or worried about gender or whatever. More so than they are about telling a good story. All that other stuff just should come natural. If you're not, an ist or a phobe, then when you write, naturally you should meet the everyday population just by writing good stories. But anyways, you did mention Fantastic Four, and we do have an update on it. It had another big drop this weekend with over 60% drop, but it did hit the 400 million mark. Superman also managed to hit the 600 million mark, but that's probably where it's going to stop. It's pretty much hit close to its limit in the theaters. But they do think that Fantastic Four may make it somewhere between 490 and 510 million by the end of its stretch. So,
yeah, it's continuing to drop, and this is a shame because this is literally this needed to be the biggest Marvel movie because spoilers. I don't care. No, I'm not going to spoil the story. I'm going to spoil the stinger. Spoilers. Doom shows up in the stinger. So this is the Doom. This is the big Doom start.
Yeah, I mean,
So
this was supposed to be must watch before Doomsday, and
this is literally the build up to the Avengers, the start. And that's not really a spoiler because you don't have any context. That's just a stinger. But the stinger, the big stinger this time, that's huge, dude. And I mean, and by the way, I don't just mean Doom. I mean like Robert Downey Jr. You
Well,
see
and I
his
mean stingers aren't as reliable as they used to be, dude.
True.
Part of the controversy on the Fantastic Four was I think there was a stinger for the Fantastic Four at the end of Thunderbolts, and it did not actually match the Fantastic Four movie because the guy who was creating the Fantastic Four movie knew nothing about the stinger.
Well, of course not. Why would
So
why
I don't even know
would
if
he
stingers
have
really matter
knowledge?
much if you're not even I mean, dude, we remember at the beginning of Marvel, like you would think, man, that's odd, that's out of place, and then they would find a way to explain it, and now they're just sort of throwing things out there. Not everything really lines up correctly. There's a lot of loopholes and story plot holes that the original Marvel stuff was pretty good about filling all those and telling a really good story.
well, now they're scrapbooking so much to the point to where it's bloating their budget, but it's also just throwing a bunch of mud against the screen and seeing if any of it sticks. So it's almost like Kevin Feige had a stroke or something. And no, he didn't have a stroke, but the fact that he did such a good job, or whoever, it may not even been him now, planning, the first four phases, that now nothing makes sense at all. I don't know how anybody could do such a 180 with their production planning. It's almost like Kathleen Kennedy got involved with the Marvel sides of things, because what they're doing to Marvel is what they did to Star Wars. There's no direction, there's no plan, there's no continuity, and it's all trash.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But anyway, last topic we got. This is just sort of, I think I found interesting. More of a sort of laugh at what people say type of thing is an Outer Worlds 2 dev was talking about the development of Outer Worlds, a game I'm hoping for, but don't really have really high hopes for, and not Bloodaxe, Q likes to shatter my dreams constantly on, but no, the Outer Worlds 2, they were talking about it was a shock, because they started Outer Worlds development before they got bought by Microsoft. And of course, the game is a game that was meant, if you watch the trailers, supposed to be about evil corporations. Now, they claim that even though they got bought by the big corporation, there was no interference or anything with how they developed the game. But the game failed at doing a story against large corporations. Like they put the large corporations in there. They put the sort of the jokes in there about them, but then they just sort of left them over here, off screen instead of actually bringing in the evil corporations to show, not tell how these corporations are, so they didn't do a good job of it. I'm hoping Outer Worlds 2 does a better job.
I mean, it would have been nice if they implemented. It's a crazy idea that you're talking about there, though. You better be careful.
Yeah.
What,
dude? You went to the menu. They actually had a thing showing your alignment with the corporations, but there was no way to really change it. It was just
and it didn't matter.
It was like, oh yeah, we thought about doing something with this, but we just didn't. But
also, it didn't matter.
Supposedly, they're good with second. They
their second games, yeah. That was back when they cared.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to keep crapping on you, man. That was back when they cared. Do you think they care?
Well, no, obviously not. They want mediocre. At least they haven't said that about this game. But when they mentioned it about Avowed, they mentioned it as a corporate thought, not just for Avowed. Now they haven't said it again. I think they realized they screwed up, but I'm not letting them live it down because I don't want them to forget that they screwed up with aiming for mediocre.
I think you're underestimating mediocre.
I think they're underestimating mediocre because they ain't hit that yet.
Hey, Grounded was mediocre. It was amazing because I got to play with my friend. If I played it as a solo experience, I would consider it mid. Now, playing it with Bloodaxe pushed it over mid.
I was referencing Avowed, but yeah, even Grounded. I mean, you lost your character, dude. That's not mediocre.
That's Grounded too, but I also did lose my stuff in Grounded 1 as well, and we got kicked constantly. Because short story time, or do you want to tell it, Bloodaxe? Because see, the way this happened is the game was crashing a lot. Now, not as bad as the first game, but if you decided to play,
it was.
I don't know.
No, I would load the game, and within 5 minutes it was crashing.
The 2?
Yeah.
Oh, well, 2 got that bad then. But Grounded, it's crashing enough that, like I said, it was already very irritating. So, in an attempt to do some stuff because I was busy, we're family guys. 2/3 of the Dicejunkies are family guys, and school just started. So I wasn't able to jump on for about a week, the last week, So Bloodaxe wanted to do some building and stuff, and he was trying to get the crashing to slow down. So he was hoping if he took it off a shared world, it wouldn't crash as much because it would hopefully be running locally at that point. You know what I mean? Like it would be running full-on local. And unfortunately, when he went to non-shared world, when he went back later to go back to shared world, it wiped out everything. It wiped out all of my equipment, and I was carrying the one-of-a-kind fire staff that's literally, there's only one in the game. I had leveled up most of the perks. I had a good chunk of them, about at least 5 or 6 perks marked out. I had Cardio Fan, Revive, I had my combat style, I had Ambush, I had all the candy elemental ones maxed out, my perks maxed out, all that gone. So, an item that we cannot build and cannot get again, lost. It happened to be my preferred weapon, lost. And then all of my perks set to 0. That I have to grind myself. There are obviously some group perks that stayed. And so, he even tried the logical thing, which I was 100% sure was going to work. I was like, oh, that'll probably work. He had actually kept the shared world on his system. And so the private world was running over here, but he had the original shared world from the last time I logged in. We loaded that, still gone. So apparently when he went private, or as Xeno has said, something else triggered it, it just wiped. Now have you checked to see if the Bloodaxe spawnling is still got his character?
There was an update Thursday, and they fixed some other stuff, but they created more breaks. Now I'm having weird things breaking now.
That your son went to see if he still has his stuff.
No, he's lost interest in playing, dude.
Well, if he hadn't, if he did lose his stuff, that probably would have done it. Because now I'm in the state where I'm going to need a big update to do that all over again. And for them to put the recipe for my staff out. I need the recipe for my new staff, or they need to pop another one down.
I can tell you right now, you will not play until they announce the Axel update, and then you'll get back on, and then you'll want to grind up your stuff so you can actually fight Axel with your tier 3 Widow Wizard at that point. So I know what's going to happen, and I'll be doing everything solo until then.
You're probably right. And that's a shame because the game deleted my character. And I'm going to be honest. Dude, I never finished Cyberpunk because I lost my character. And I've gone back and even tried, but as I started doing the process all over again, it refreshed the annoyance. And I ended up not completed.
I get you. I mean, same thing happened with me with Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah, but if Cyberpunk was a co-op game, you would have played Cyberpunk because you would have played with your friends. And just like this, you'll come back to it eventually to play with your friends. But if it was a solo game, I could totally see.
Well, I've even told you.
I've
even given you a theory. They're going to put out cone staffs, which will also make the regrind, at least for my staff, faster. I fully expect they're going to bring back the staffs that have a cone effect. I'll be back when I get the cone effect, definitely, because then I can go grind the mites, and it won't take 3 evenings. Because guess what? We have a day job and children. So it took 3 evenings to finish the flipping combat. Okay, anyway, calm down. So it takes a while to do Widow Wizard. That's all I'm saying.
All you gotta do is not complete the mixer event, turn it on, and just get swarmed by enemies and fight them all off with guard dog on, and make it pretty fast.
It takes 200 kills, mofo. There's only 2 skills in the game that are that slow to grind.
And there's 9 enemies right there at the beginning with the orc weevils.
The archer and the Widow Wizard, like the bow and the Widow Wizard, are the slowest combat styles to grind. Now, don't get me wrong.
Little Fist is the slowest one to grind. What? Little Fist, I still haven't done. I'm like 8 away from getting Little Fist done.
But that's because of some weird glitch you ran into with that, where it wasn't counting a lot of your kills, even though it should have.
No, they fixed it. So I had to be playing co-op with somebody else in order for those kills to count towards Little Fist, which was just weird.
Little Fists are swing fast. It's got a good weapon. I could level that up without too much trouble. For example, if Xeno was right and I could grind in my own game, I probably would have almost all the combat perks done by now, because that's the other thing. You go to bed, I'm bored, I would jump on and just grind combat skills and just have a character fully perked up. And oh my God, let's not talk about how Trapper Keeper is not going anywhere. Like, you're trying to get those gold cards. Have you found any more yet?
Yeah, I found like 3 today. So yeah, no, I've been grinding the gold cards. And we're missing 2 bugs. One of the ones we didn't scan was the bloody aphid. So I got that one. And the other one is the one that I thought it was, but I haven't been able to get it. It's the bloody crow. And trying to get close enough where you can peep that thing, which is an automatic gold, because you can't attack it. So once you peep it, you get auto gold on that one.
Well, I actually found out that making the stuffed animals is how you get the gold cards a lot faster. So actually,
it just increases your luck. And so
apparently it works a lot better.
And so what I've been doing is I've been trying to build a menagerie in our base to where I can make all the stuffed critters. And so I can start, doing that. And I'm going to go on a mite hunt until I get the gold card and come back. But the hard one's going to be like the orc variants, which I got the orc ladybug today somehow miraculously with that was wild. But and wolf spiders don't respawn very quickly either. Getting that one and the orc version of the wolf spider, so there's going to be something really hard to get. With the first game, I used to do a safe scum.
To get back on point, I'm not saying I won't play Grounded 2 anymore if they do the updates I'm hoping for. But until then, unless your email works and they somehow data pull, then I'll be right back. If they get my character back, then we'll go do the Orc Mixer again. Is it repeatable? I'm assuming it's repeatable. So no. Well, once you complete it, it supposedly stops all the orc raids, which I don't want them to stop that either, because that's how I'm able to get some of the orc gold cards. So I've just been, like I said, trying to farm some of the gold cards, but now that they have this duplication of resources option, I was able to get pretty much 500 of everything. Except for the globs, but I've got full mantis heads. I've got a crap ton of wolf spider parts. So even like the chocolate chip smoothies. I've got hundreds and hundreds of these chocolate chip smoothies. So from a resource gathering perspective, I'm done. It's building in gold cards is all I have left to do. You've almost completed all of your perks, right?
Yeah, I've got like 8 more kills to do with Little Fist, and then I just got the Coltana because I had to look up the location, and it was nowhere near the burning area, which that's
that
why I
must be
couldn't
nice.
find it.
That sounds amazing, having all those perks leveled up and hard work still exists.
Mhm. But I'm still working on the Mithridatism and then the last two combat perks. But I did find a couple more locations we hadn't found before. But it's getting those gold cards are gonna be a beast, because in the last game you could save and just basically keep reharvesting until you get the gold card. They fixed that halfway through the first game. And in the second one, I tried for like an hour. I had 3 orc bees, and it kept dropping same amount of fuzz, same amount of stinger, same amount of orc transmitters, and no gold cards. So they've forbidden you from being able to do that again going forward.
All right.
So.
Well, before we lose everybody who isn't in the grounded, we should probably wrap up the show. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com. What's that?
I said, heck, you was losing me.
I mean, yeah. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com, where you find links everywhere we are online: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.
And don't lose your stuff.
Don't